Which Week 8 underdogs are going to have the outright upsets this week? There were a lot last week. There were a lot the week before. Surely there's going to be some more here. So let's get into it. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for this. So what you see on the screen, and this is not Week 7, it's Week 8. As a matter of fact, I'll update it right now. So Week 8, projected win probabilities based on 5 factors plus talent. So I'm going to give you what the win projection looks like on these, and based on, or not based on, but versus what the implied probability is from the sports books. And from there, we'll look at what the actual money line is right now, and I'll just give you what my thoughts are on who the underdogs are going to be. I'm going to give you 5 that I like the most, and then I'll give you 4 other ones. So let's start off with this. Arizona State plus 170 against Cincinnati. Arizona State wins games at the line of scrimmage. Now, Cincy is pretty good on the line of scrimmage, but they're not great by any stretch of the imagination. I know that Sam Leavitt is out, but Kenny Dillingham has shown over the past couple of years that he is maybe an offensive genius. He knows what to do with his players to put them in the right position to be able to win games. If you watch the UCLA game last year, they were down a bunch of quarterbacks, etc. They just came out and ran like wing T stuff that UCLA had never seen before. Now your quarterback's out. You got Jeff Sims in there. What kind of stuff does he end up running this time? Does he find a way to not let Jeff Sims throw the ball to the other team? I think that's what everybody's worried about with Jeff Sims. So, of course, Jeff Sims was at Georgia Tech. Then he goes over to Nebraska last year and just felt like every other play was a fumble or an interception. Now he's at Arizona State. Veteran backup, guy that knows what the coach expects out of him. Yeah, I'm curious on this one. So Arizona State plus 170 at Cincinnati, I think is pretty good. I've got Arizona State with a 53.14% chance to win the game, as you can see highlighted there on the screen. The implied probability only had them at 40%. So there you go. All right, next on the board we got Tulsa plus 136 against Temple. And look, Temple is supposed to have Evan Simon back. Their offense has certainly been better since Evan Simon took over for Forrest Brock at quarterback. Tulsa isn't great by any stretch of the imagination. Their implied win probability was 44.25%. But I've got them at 51% win probability based on the stats on the season and whatnot, based on the 5 factors, which is who is the most efficient, who makes the least mistakes, all that kind of stuff. Tulsa, I think they've got a coaching advantage here. They've got a talent advantage for sure. I know they're going on the road, but I think Tulsa could probably find a way to get this thing done. So plus 136 on the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. I think that makes a little bit of sense. All right, the next one that I'm looking at, FAU. FAU goes to UTSA. UTSA is bad this year. Jeff Traylor maybe should have hopped out of town when his quarterback Frank Harris did. But that's neither here nor there. He will have a job open somewhere if he wants it. Right now, I think he's good. He knows what he wants to do. So FAU with Tom Herman, I don't think that there's necessarily a coaching advantage one way or the other. FAU has looked pretty good as of late. The implied win probability was FAU 34.4%. I've got them at 49.46%. I think these two teams are incredibly equal. And just numbers-wise, I've actually got FAU favored over the past 4 weeks. They are playing better than UTSA, who just lost to Rice last week. But an implied win probability of 70% for UTSA, and I've got them at a 50.54%. Yeah, FAU plus 200 is the best number that you can get out there. So 2-1 on a team that I've got as a pick'em. Yeah, I'll take FAU there. The next one that we've got, Houston going to Kansas. Now, this one is rough, right? You look at this thing, and implied probability has Houston with 37.3? I've got it at 46.68 for Houston, 53.32% for Kansas. The thing here is that Houston, their offense looks significantly better now that they've put Zion Chris at quarterback. It's like night and day difference. They're just significantly better with him at quarterback. And Kansas, that defense, I mean, it's not even as good as TCU's defense. And Houston lit up TCU's defense. So it's not like there's a huge home field advantage at Arrowhead Stadium for Kansas here. I kind of get the feeling that Houston might be able to get some things done. So we will go with the Houston Cougars at plus 175 on this one. This one, just based on the numbers, now vibes-wise, we'll do Michigan and Illinois. And vibes-wise, I think Michigan handles this. Jack Tuttle is significantly better at quarterback. Like there's a lot of things that point Michigan's way. The momentum is certainly with the Wolverines. But you look at this thing, and their implied win probability in this game is 64.79%. The win probability that I've got them is 50.34%. Illinois at home. Luke Altmaier has been really, really good this year. And while I think that the Michigan passing defense is going to be better in this game, they've certainly given up some big plays. I mean, Will Rogers absolutely tore them up. There is a chance here that Zachary Franklin and that bunch of wide receivers can get open, and Barry Lundy could have a day calling plays against this Michigan defense. So if that happens, and Jack Tuttle is still not quite up to par on this, then yeah, Illinois could win this game. I've got it 50.34% for Michigan to win the game. The implied probability from the sports books is 64.79%. That's a pretty drastic difference. I'll go Illinois plus 162 on that. So, and those are my five that I've put into my round robin. I'm going to do a different round robin here for some long shot upsets. Here's what I'm looking at. UAB. UAB goes to South Florida, and UAB's offense has not been atrocious, and they've got the Kitna kid playing back there right now. He appears to have been a little bit better than Jacob Zeno. USF has not been good, and now Byron Brown is out. I don't know what this offense is going to be. They put up 3 points on Memphis last week. I don't think Memphis has some killer defense. UAB, I think the quit, like the Q word. I said it. I shouldn't have said it. The Q word is out there for the UAB team. However, this is a game that is winnable for them, and it's 13.5. 13.5. I know that they're playing like down there at South Florida. I don't know if this game's in Orlando or if they decided to play it at Tampa, even though they're still cleaning up. But this is certainly a spot that UAB could win. The implied win probability at the books is 20%. I've got them at 46.21%. I think there's a shot they win this thing outright. So UAB plus 400 is the best number you can get on that. We'll stay in the AAC. Let's look at this one. North Texas. North Texas goes to Memphis, and there we go. Let's highlight that bad boy right there. Implied win probability from the books has Memphis with an 81% chance to win the game. They've got them as double-digit favorites. And yet, this North Texas team is 5-1, and their offense is no joke. And I don't know that Memphis has faced an offense other than Navy, who they gave up 50-some-odd points to and lost the game. They hadn't faced a team that can do the kind of stuff North Texas does. Probability for North Texas, 23.26% of the books. I've got it at 46.65%. This feels like a last team that has the ball can win the game kind of thing. You got North Texas plus 330 as your best money line option. Sure, why not? I'll take that. And then 2 more. And you guys are going to laugh at me. Colorado State goes to Air Force. And the books have got Colorado State with an implied win probability of 72.6%. I've got them at 51.83. Air Force changed quarterbacks. They were able to put up some yards on New Mexico. Now, granted, Colorado State's defense is better than New Mexico, but Horton, the wide receiver, is now out for the year, and I think that they relied on him a lot. Air Force, I think if they can put up some points here, this one's at home. It's a rivalry game. You can get Air Force at plus 220 right now. I don't think the troops are just going to go winless the rest of the way. So Air Force plus 220. And then finally, late night action. UNLV goes to Oregon State, and they are more than a touchdown favorite. The implied win probability for them at the books is 69.7%. I've got them at 55.3% here. But if you look at their schedule, the road games that they have done thus far this year, opening week at Houston, and that was a dreadful Houston team. They took them out of the game immediately, took the crowd out of the game. They played at Kansas on a Friday, and that was at Children's Mercy Park. It's a soccer complex in Kansas City, and we all saw it. There was not that many people there, so it wasn't a huge home field environment. They played at Utah State, last week. That was on a Friday night. Utah State is already out of this thing. I mean, so they haven't played a real road test, and now you got to go to Corvallis. I just think there's a chance. Oregon State plus 205 is what you can get on that one. So, pay attention. Pay attention. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.